You know exactly who I'm talking about. The one who walks into a room and immediately makes it better. The one who can make a funeral feel slightly less unbearable. The one who has a comeback for everything, who diffuses every awkward silence, who makes strangers laugh within 5 minutes of meeting them. Your funny friend. And here's the thing. You've probably never once stopped to ask how they're actually doing. Because why would you? They seem great. They're always on, always light, always the one making everyone else feel better. But I want to ask you something. When was the last time someone made them laugh so hard they forgot themselves for a second? When was the last time someone sat with them in the quiet and just asked? Because behind almost every person who is always effortlessly funny, there's a psychology that is anything but simple. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. First thing to understand, being the funny one is never just a personality quirk. It's a skill that got built for a reason. Most people who grow up to be naturally, instinctively funny developed that humor in an environment where it served a purpose. Maybe home was tense, and a well-timed joke was the fastest way to release the pressure. Maybe they were the kid who got picked on, and making the bully laugh was the only form of safety available. Maybe they grew up feeling invisible, and humor was the first thing that made people actually look at them. Psychologists call this an adaptive coping mechanism, which sounds clinical, but in plain terms it means they learned early that being funny kept them safe. It got them love, it kept the peace, it made people want them around. And here's where it gets complicated. Because the thing you learned to survive childhood, you carry into adulthood. Except now it's not just a tool anymore. It's become your entire identity. And identities are very hard to step out of, even when you need to. There's a term in psychology, the class clown defense, and it describes something really specific. It's when humor stops being just an expression and starts being a barrier, a way of keeping people at exactly the right distance. Close enough to like you, far enough to never really know you. Think about your funny friend for a second. Have you ever tried to have a serious conversation with them and they made a joke, right in the middle of something real? And you laughed and the moment passed and something in you felt like you almost got through but not quite? That's not an accident. That's protection. Because if you're funny, you control the room. You control the narrative. Nobody's looking at your pain because everyone's too busy laughing. And on the outside, it looks like confidence. It looks like someone who is completely comfortable with themselves. But sometimes, not always, but sometimes, it is the most sophisticated deflection you've ever seen. Robin Williams did it. Jim Carrey talked openly about it. Whole careers, whole personalities built on making the world laugh while carrying something privately that almost nobody was allowed to see. Studies consistently show that high humor, especially the kind used to cope with stress, correlates strongly with higher than average levels of emotional sensitivity and anxiety. Your funny friend feels things deeply, more than they let on, more possibly than almost anyone around them. They just got very good very early at converting those feelings into something more socially acceptable, something that gets applause instead of concern. And the loneliness that comes from that is a very specific kind of loneliness. It's the loneliness of being the person who makes everyone feel good and going home wondering if anyone actually sees you. It's performing warmth all day and having no one ask what's underneath it. It's being so associated with lightness that when you're genuinely struggling, you don't even know how to say it. Because who believes the funny one is sad? Who knows what that even looks like? They themselves sometimes don't. A lot of them describe it the same way, like being the only one at the party who is simultaneously in the party and watching it from the outside, present but slightly apart, laughing but somewhere behind the laugh, tired. I'm not saying your funny friend is secretly falling apart. A lot of people genuinely love humor, find joy in it, and are doing completely fine. That's real too. But I am saying, check on them. Not with a big, serious, sit-down conversation necessarily, just a genuine, hey, how are you actually doing? And then, stay in it. Don't let them joke their way out of it this time. Not because the joke isn't funny, but because you've decided that today you care more about the person than the punchline. Because here's the quiet truth about the funniest person in your life. They have spent years making sure everyone else feels comfortable, seen, and light. Maybe it's time someone did that for them.